and welcome back to Pokemon Quest on Android. So today we are taking on Gloomy Grove, which is world number 2. And fire dragons are very, very useful in this world. So, you know, the Vulpix that we got, he's probably going to come in pretty handy. And on top of Vulpix, we do also have our Pidgey, which is also pretty good against grass types, which is great. But for the most part, we are probably just going to win this through the bonus that Vulpix gives because, you know, fire type, plus its range, so it just attacks from forever away and they can't really do anything. And keeping Eevee as our main Pokemon in the center here is probably best because Pidgey doesn't have a lot of health, and even though I'd want to be making sure that Eevee survives for as long as possible, I'd rather than focus down Eevee. So, now, paying attention to your actual team composition is very, very important. Very, very important indeed. This poor little Caterpie is getting beaten up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You did it to yourself. If you just don't jump out of the trees and try and attack us, I mean, we wouldn't have this issue, would we now? Jeez, but we do have this Gloom here, and I'm not sure. It might have, like, a status effect move or something. Seems like it just has Petal Dance and, I don't know, some other move like Razor Leaf or something, but a lot of the bosses, especially later on, they start getting status afflicting moves. Well, it's mostly like mid-game to late anyway, where you'll have certain bosses that just use sleep over and over and over, or they'll just poison you over and over and over, and they can be a massive pain in the butt to actually deal with. But luckily for us, this boss seems pretty easy. Of course, Charm doesn't work, as per usual. I mean, you just get used to it. It's like the 10% success rate on Charm, you know, it's just whatever. I'm over it. I am over it. So there we go, everyone got a level up there, which is very nice. We got a Mighty Stone, which should help us out a little bit more as well. And now the next level is another 200 points higher. So, obviously every time you clear a level, the Pokemon get more difficult to beat inside the levels, and generally you want to be on par as a minimum in the, you know, what it compares the amount of points you should have on your team. So we've only got 952 at the moment, but it says it's recommended 1,200, so they want us to go back and level up a little bit more, but I don't know if I can be bothered to do that. I don't know. And whoa, we got 2 more Vulpix? Vulpixes? Vulpi? I don't know how to say it, but this, you'll see that there is a different way that the moves end up coming out. So we have 2 slots for Charm and no slots for Ember on this Vulpix, which actually isn't even that bad. And this one, he only has 1 attack, but he has 3 slots for those special stones. So for some Pokemon it depends, but sometimes you just want 1 singular move with 3 weightless stones on it, depending on how strong they are. But that was pretty insane luck, considering that we just entered the place that needs fire. That's pretty insane, actually. What the heck? I was not expecting that. And I need to work out what recipe I'm actually using here. So I went onto Cerebi and now I'm back and I've worked it out. We're going to do 3 of these Blockberries, 2 red mushrooms, and I actually don't even remember what the recipe is already. I think it gives us a water type or something, doesn't it? I actually don't remember. But I'm pretty sure that with these 3 Vulpix that we just got, we should be able to clear this next world completely. Unless it just goes insanely difficult for some reason, but that's probably just to do with our team comp if nothing else. So we need to go ahead and put these stones that we have onto the Vulpix that we choose to use. The question is which one? I think it might be this one that's better. And that does mean that we are getting rid of Pidgey out of our team, but that is fine. I mean, again, Pidgey was just there as like, you know, he's okay, he's fine for now, but we could do better. And these Vulpix are definitely going to do that. The main issue is we have like no defense stones at the moment. Like Eevee's dead set. We've got 2 slots. He's got the weightless stone on him as well. He's fine. It's just we need defensive stones, and all it's giving us are these power stones. So yeah, we need two defensive stones. Okay, that's good to know. It's good to know. It always feels pretty bad having to go into fights without having them fully decked out, but I mean, it is what it is. And we got a reward for having team strength of over 1,000. Lovely. I do like the mini rewards that they give for, you know, such unexpected quests. But you see, now we have a bonus typing of 331 because we have 2 fire Pokemon. So now we are over the minimum amount of points that it recommends for us to have. And, you know, even though I've been saying that, you know, you should always at least have close to the minimum that they recommend for that level. But genuinely, especially from testing that I've done, like in certain parts of the game, you can easily clear fights that are like 3,000, 4,000 points higher than your team. And that has a lot to do with buffing moves. And at the moment, we don't have a single, well, buffing for defense and negating, you know, special attacks or, you know, status effects. We don't have any of that yet. We just have the charms on the Vulpix, which, to be honest, charm isn't the best. And it's not self-adding. It's just to do with the opponent. So as soon as we get Pokemon that have stuff like, I don't know, defense curl, withdraw, what else? I know that Magnemite has a pretty good move. Or is it Magneton? He has a move that buffs his damage and something else at the same time, and it is really good. But for now, we're stuck with what we have. It'll be fine. I mean, you could think about it this way. You know, if you got 2 lots of charm, you've got double the chance of it actually hitting. So it goes from a 10% chance to a 20% chance of actually hitting. Fantastic. I really wish that they would change some of the hitboxes on certain moves in this game, but it's just one of the things that you have to deal with. You know, you just gotta accept that nothing's probably gonna get nerfed or buffed, and the hitboxes are just what they are. Is it gonna work? We did hit the charm on one of those execute there, that's not too bad. I have to say, looking at execute, it does give me quite a large form of PTSD because they tend to explode quite often. And speaking of which, here's an execute and an executor. But yeah, the executes in certain levels, they just explode and pretty much one-shot your Pokemon unless you have buffs on them. So I'm not a major fan of seeing executes. They just, ugh, I don't like them. I'd just rather them go away, never ever look at me again, basically. Okay, that charm didn't work, of course. Why would it? As soon as I need it to hit the boss, it's like, yeah, we're just gonna miss. Oh geez, that Eevee is almost dead. Yeah, Eevee is definitely probably gonna go down in this fight here. But unlike the main series games, it doesn't actually matter if 1 or 2 of your Pokemon go down. As long as you have at least 1 remaining, you still get the XP, you still get to progress. Stop, Facebook! End it! This is what I get for not turning off notifications. Damn. But he's dead. Absolutely dead-erino. Stage cleared. And we're gonna get... Oh, we got 2 level ups on our far right Vulpix there, which means we have another slot for damage! Very nice. And oh, my chair is loud. So now we're up to 1,500 for the minimum points. You see, at that point, until we get an actual team put together, I'm not feeling too confident about that. And this second level being mostly water-type Pokemon is not good for our team. Because we have 2 fire Pokemon now, which means we are super duper weak to the level next to here. I'm pretty sure that was intentional when they made the game. Just to, you know, slow down progress a bit, say, you know, even if you'd want to use your starter Pokemon forever, you've got to realize that at one point or another, you're probably going to have to switch it out for a different one. But, I don't know, I'll try this out anyway. It's just, we are under the recommended points here. So if we clear this, it will probably mostly be down to, you know, pressing buttons at the right time, avoiding any BS attacks like explosions or, you know, stun spores and stuff. What are you doing, Bellsprout? I hate the fact that Ember makes our Vulpix, like, run away and use it from, like, 17 miles away. Like, what is that about? Do you really need to be that far away just to use Ember? Like, look at it. It steps back and then flings it from, like, fat off nowhere land. Oh, whatever. It might even be better to just never use Ember and just attack normally at this rate. Because when it goes so far away, its attack, like, doesn't even hit most of the time. Like, it does 155 damage. Is that what I'm seeing? 155? And yet our base attack does, like, 189 anyway? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. 147 that did. I mean, you just have to get used to it. You know, certain moves that in the main series games would probably have been fine to have on Pokemon. In this game, some of them just suck. Like, outright, they are the worst in the game. It's like how, with Alakazam, you'd think that Psychic would be the best possible move on him out of anything, because, you know, super high damage, same type boost and stuff like that. But there are a couple of moves that Alakazam can learn in this game that actually, in certain situations, are just much better than teaching it something like Psychic. So, it really depends on your team composition in this game. Which, you know, I guess having to put in a little bit of thought, some strategy into a game, like a simple mobile game, is actually a nice change of pace. It's not just sit there and randomly click buttons all the time. You do actually have to be pretty aware of what's going on. Especially during these fights, for instance, where you're against a boss that's like a couple hundred points or a couple thousand points higher than you. And yeah, stop hitting Eevee! You're basically bullying her. She's trying her best. And using Ember from super far away is whatever. At least after it finishes using Ember, it sort of runs in and then does a regular attack straight afterwards. Which isn't all that bad. Is it doing 2 lots of damage when I hit it with Ember, in fact? See, 452 base damage. I don't know. I'm not going to min-max, but... You know, I just wish that it was just a hard attack that I could use, like, next to something, rather than it being so gimmicky. Because if it moves around a lot, we're not going to hit that. And there is another slot for Eevee. Cool. Cool. Oh, we got some honey out of that as well. Honey is really good for summoning bug types, which is only really useful for a couple of levels. But stuff like Scyther, which is a very good Pokemon for, what is it, World 4? World 4 or 5? He's pretty good on that world, as far as I'm aware. And plus, he's pretty rare. But yeah, we got a whole lot of soft things and a lot of blue, and this is the dish that gives us water-type Pokemon, and that is definitely a Krabby. Indeed it is. So, he's level 13, 3 defense slots, so he's definitely more defensive in Surf. Okay then. That's actually not that bad. Normally when I get low levels, I expect something like Tackle, or, I don't know, Defense Curl, which without the buffing stones, it's actually really bad to have just one Pokemon gain the bonus from it. And what is is this the right recipe that I'm thinking of? 1 big root, 3 apricorn, and a red? It's gonna be 4 stages worth of exploration until it comes, so I'm gonna assume yes, this is the one that we wanted. But now the plus side is, now that we're going into the water stage, now we actually have a Pokemon that isn't a fire type. So now, if we want to, we can swap one of these Vulpix out and do the other world first. And now that we've got 3 in a line, the fire damage or fire type damage taken by Vulpix has been reduced by 25%. And it's one of the things I haven't really gone through, but if you get 3 in a row, you do get special bonuses on your Pokemon that has the 3 special stones in a row. So it's worth taking a look at what bonuses they actually get, because in certain situations that will be the difference between beating or not beating a level. Even if the Pokemon isn't meant to be that good in that level, it may help. Yeah, that's what it's called, a bingo. 1 bingo has been achieved. Great, great, great. I used to do bingo a lot as a child. I think that was mostly because my auntie used to love bingo herself. But bingo was very weird. And because it was in like a... it wasn't necessarily a tiny town or anything like that, but we seemed to win bingo like all the time. And it was really weird because I'd like go to bingo and like every week we'd win something. It was the weirdest thing ever. It's like new week, new toy. Great, thank you bingo. I mean, you expect bingo being the sort of thing that like old women do, but as a child I used to love it. I don't know what it is. Maybe I was old for my age, we could say that. But if you've never been to bingo, what are you doing with your life? You're missing out. Although, to be fair, I don't think it's the kind of thing that I'd do now. I'd rather just, I don't know, stay at home rather than do anything. I mean, that's just true, to be honest, because I don't really care about going out too often, because I used to travel a lot anyway as a kid. I've seen a lot of stuff, and now nothing really intrigues me. I'd say Pokemon Quest intrigues me more than a lot. So, I don't know. That's just, I guess, a mini story from me for now. On the other hand, these Krabbies, oh, they know Surf as well. Is that Surf? Or is that... Does everything know this one water move? I mean, it looks like Surf, doesn't it? For the most part, they seem to be ignoring most of the damage onto the Vulpix that we have. So, I am not too bothered by that. I don't care too much. But seeing this Slowbro is definitely making me Monka-S because our Eevee is very low. And when our Eevee goes down, that means that we're not going to have anything to actually tank water type attacks. Did these Slowpoke even use water type attacks? I mean, it just looks like they're using Tackle right now. Hello, Slowbro? Can we please get this charm off? Look, I'm just spamming it. Please, go off. Go off on the Slowboat. Slowboat, yes. I guess we're just not gonna get it off. I think he used Amnesia, which reduces his susceptibility to actually getting charmed anyway, so that's probably why it wasn't working. But you know, it's worth a shot. It was worth a shot. But either way, that boss is clear. That means this 3-1 level is now done. Very nice. And, oh, we apparently do have enough damage for this level as well. So, are we gonna, like, fully clear this world? Like, actually? We may do. I have to say, though, like earlier, getting double Vulpix drops when we needed them, like, perfectly at that time is insane. It's not too often that you actually get double drops with base percentage, because you can go in the shop and you know how they have random VIP or special purchase only items, or just items that cost a ton of those PM tickets. You can buy a couple of things that will help your chances of spawning 2 Pokemon at once. I have never bought it myself. At least I don't think I have. And I don't really see doubles ever. So I'm feeling pretty lucky today. Pretty lucky. Would we have gotten stuck trying to complete this world had we not gotten this double drop? Probably. Because eventually we are going to run out of red ingredients and stuff, and I just realized that Eevee's dead. Oh no. Come on, Vulpix. We can do this ourselves, surely. What did she die to? This is what I get for not paying attention. Now we have to do the boss with Eevee only being at like half health. It's only a Parasect though. You think we could do it? I think we can. I think we can. And why did I use Charm on that Vulpix that was in Nowhere Land? Okay, so Charm has failed yet again. Eevee, get the heck out of there. You don't want to get smashed. Oh no, Eevee's so dead. Eevee is so dead. Yep, I knew it. As soon as the Parasect started using that move, I knew that it was over, but this Ember is genuinely annoying me so much. But the dodge button in the far right, you'll see, if you can time it right against a Pokemon like this boss here, he will pretty much never hit you with anything. So if you just manage that properly, you can just finish boss fights without taking any damage. Apart from like the mini minions, of course. But, oh, there we go. Yes, we did get it off properly there. Because if you didn't know, bosses actually go through certain phases. So in the first half of the fight, they'll use one of their moves. In the second half, they'll start using a different move. So this Parasect will just keep repeating this sleep powder until the day he dies, which is right now. So that was his ultimate flaw, let's say. Poor little Parasect getting wrecked. Either way, I'm happy that we managed to finish that off. We were within the points limit, but still pretty good. But can we do 2,100? Oh, and this is talking about the special item detection from Moby, because when you do a certain amount of expeditions, it'll build up this bar in the top left, the little golden one, and then the next battle that you do, it will give you a special, or normally a golden stone, sometimes I think there's a chance of it giving you a blue one as well, but they are just upgraded versions of Power Stones, and they are very, very good, because they give HP regen. If you get knocked out, you come back quicker. It's just really good stuff overall, so when we do this next expedition that we actually complete, we will get one of those as a reward. So, if we just can't do this next fight straight away, I guess we just farm a fight, see if the special stone we get helps us or not. But we seem decently decked out for now. But doing this next fight is probably going to be pretty tough. So we're going to recycle these, get a few more ingredients back. And honestly, I think that is probably where I am going to end it for now. Because we will take on the boss next time. I have so much stuff to do today. But, you know, we will continue on and see if we can do the boss fight next time. I'm going to reorder our team like that going into this as well. So now our Vulpix is one of the target Pokemon instead. So, for now, thank you very much for joining me in Pokemon Quest, and we will be back next time with this boss fight.